I'm here with some new friends looking for something that isn't there anymore, looking for the former boundaries of an enclave of Imperial territory personally owned by the Emperor inside the Duchy of Brabant that I found on the Ferraris map of the 1770s. The Ferraris map is preserved in the National Library of Belgium, and you can consult it. You can click on the area where you happen to be interested in, and you can go and have a good look at what was there in the 18th century. And zooming in on our part of the world, I spotted just across the river from us a small patch of land marked with the mysterious letters ASM. It turns out that ASM stands for À Sa Majesté. This territory was the personal possession of the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire and not part of the Duchy of Brabant that surrounded it. The Flemish government website www.geopunt.be allows you to compare maps across the centuries. So for instance, you can look at the boundaries marked on the Ferraris map of the 1770s, and 70 years later you can find a map of the field patterns as they were then, in which it's fairly clear that the enclave, although presumably it had been abolished decades before, that the borders still survive in the fields. They don't entirely survive in today's field pattern, but it's not too difficult to trace where the boundaries of the enclave must have been, and if anything it's a bit clearer when you take a look at the relief map mapping the various contours of the actual terrain. So I'm more or less at the westernmost point of the former Imperial enclave. Number 31 immediately behind me would have been in the Duchy of Brabant in the old days, and number 33 with all the solar panels would have been in the Emperor's own personal territory. The hedge that's now between them would have been the border between Imperial territory and Brabant's territory, and the point where that hedge meets the hedge on the front of the road, that would have been the precise corner. The southern boundary of the enclave would have followed this road right along until it hit the path here, and then it would have followed what's now the line of this fence between the fields, and the southernmost corner of the enclave would have been there at the end of this field. One must of course be respectful of private property, but the Geopunt maps also make it fairly clear which parts of the land are still under state ownership and which are not. And the state-owned parts include the lane behind me and the field that it leads to, which contains the former easternmost corners of the Imperial enclave. So this is the point where the old boundary and the border of the field part ways, with the field border, the modern fence heading off to the right, and the old boundary between the Imperial enclave and the Duchy of Brabant curving off to the left, and quite clearly marked by this very different coloured vegetation, which I reckon must be surely the former channel of a tributary of the river Dyle, which is not very far away from us behind me. And you can see that it's basically a darker bit of vegetation set in among the sort of golden and purple flowers of the rest of the field, until it meets up with the fence again on the other side. And that would be the easternmost corner of the enclave, somewhere back there where we've just been. I don't know how easy it is to see because contours never come off terribly well in videos like this, and also I'm shooting directly into the sun. But there's a sort of raised platform of land, maybe half a metre or a metre above the height of the rest of the field, and I reckon that shoulder there, where it has a turning, would have been the northern point of the former enclave. So it's goodbye from me and goodbye from my friends here, who little realise as they wander around this field that they're crossing what in the 1770s was essentially the functional equivalent of an international boundary between the Duke of Brabant's territory and the territory of His Imperial Majesty.